Testile tadring anzuki polynomial ki nangne quadratic polynomial ki factors seda nanganzu this teshijai ani chida quadratic polynomial lame polynomial nalerik tamine yorwa di kapsula quadratic polynomial lana chida ax square plus bx plus c polynomial px the standard form quadratic like polynomial the degree of this polynomial is 2, so therefore it is called quadratic polynomial. There are different ways, and one of the most important method of factorization is splitting the middle term. So today we shall discuss in length the method of splitting the middle term. For that, let me first take a simple example. Px is equal to x square minus 2x plus 1. Okay, let me change the variable. Let's say we'll try to use another variable. Y squared minus 2y plus 1. So py is equal to y squared minus 2y plus 1. So here the middle term minus 2y is the middle term. We will try to split this into two parts so that the sum is equal to minus 2y and the product is equal to plus 1. So here you have sum is equal to minus 2 and the product of two numbers is equal to 1. Okay, now for that we have to find two numbers such that when you multiply these two numbers you will get plus 1. And when we add these two numbers, the sum should be equal to minus 2. Now if the product is positive, then what we can conclude regarding the sign of two numbers is that if the product is positive, then the two numbers will have or will carry the same sign. That means either both the numbers are positive or both the numbers are negative. So we shall decide which sign we have to use, and for that you have to look at the sum of the two numbers, and the sum of the two numbers is minus. So that means the two numbers will have sign minus. Both the numbers will carry negative sign. So in order to find the two numbers, we shall look at the factors of 1. So we'll have factors of 1. 1 ones are 1. Right? Now, regarding the sign, since the product is positive, both will have same sign. And what sign we should have, we can look at this sign of the sum is minus 2. So that means both the numbers should be minus 1. Minus 1 into minus 1, minus into minus, plus. 1 ones are 1, positive 1. If we add these two numbers, minus 1 plus minus 1. So that will be equal to same sign. So it's equal to 1. So the two numbers are minus 1 and minus 1. So what we shall do is y squared. Instead of minus 2y, you will write minus 1y minus 1y. If we add these two numbers, it will be same as minus 2y plus 1, right? Or you can write plus 1 is equal to minus 1 into minus 1. Okay, now let's try to take out the common factor of these two terms. The common factor is y. So y bracket, what will be left? Y minus y is common, so what will be left? Minus 1 will be left. In this case, what is common is minus 1. Always try to look at the sign of the first term. If the sign of the first term is negative, we shall take out negative as the common sign. Minus 1. So what will be left? Plus y. And we shall change the sign minus 1. Now how do we know the sign or the terms inside the bracket? We can do just like this. Minus 1y plus 1. What factor we have taken out is minus 1. So divide minus 1y, divide minus 1y by minus 1 plus 1 divide by minus 1. Minus both, the sign will become positive. Y divided by 1 is y. Plus and minus. If the signs are same, when we divide, if the signs are the same, the sign of the quotient will be positive. If the signs are sign of the numerator and denominator are different, the sign of the quotient will be minus. So minus 1 divided by 1 is 1. Okay, now see. Terms inside the brackets are same. So y minus 1 will be common. What will be left? Y will be left from this, and minus 1 will be left from this. So factors of y square minus 2y plus 1 is equal to y minus 1 and y minus 1, which is same as y minus 1 whole squared. So these two are the factors of polynomial py. Now we shall take another example. X squared plus 7x plus 12. So the middle term is plus 7x. We shall try to split 7x so that when you add these two numbers, you will get sum equal to 7x, and when you multiply this plus 7, you will get plus 12. So the sum of the two numbers is equal to plus 7, and the product is equal to 12, plus 12. So when if the product is plus, we shall conclude that this sign of these two numbers will be same. Either both of them will be positive or both of them will be negative. So the sign will be, we can infer from the sign of the sum. Sign of the sum is positive, so that means both the numbers will have positive. So in order to find the two numbers, we shall try to find out all the possible factors of 12. The smallest factor is 1. 1 multiplied by 12. Both the positive. 1 plus 12 is 13. So that is not the numbers we need. Then next factor is 2. 2 multiplied by 6. 2 6 are 12. If we add these two, we will not get 7. So these two are not the number. And then we have next factor will be 3. 3 4s are 12. If we add 3 and 4, we will get 7. So these two are the numbers. So we have x squared plus, instead of 7x, we can write plus 3x plus 4x plus 12. We can also write 12 as 4 into 3. So we shall try to take the common factors. Common factor in this case is x. What will be left? X squared plus 3 plus the common factor in these two terms is plus 4. So what will be left? If 4 is taken out, x will be left, plus if 4 is taken out, what will it? Plus 3 will be left. Sorry. This is not x squared, this is x. Now let's see. The terms inside the bracket are exactly the same. So we take it common. What will be left? X plus 4. So these two are the factors of x squared plus 7x plus 12. So during the examination, when you for questions carrying 1 mark, if we are asked to find the factors of x squared plus 7x plus 12, I would suggest x squared plus 7x plus 12. If the coefficient of x squared is 1, we know that the two numbers are going to be 3x and 4x. So I would directly write, instead of going through all this process, if the question carries just 1 mark, I would directly write x plus 3 into x plus 4. That is how to save time. In the earlier two exercises, we have taken the coefficient of x squared equal to 1. Now what about if the coefficient of x squared is not equal to 1, but it's some other number? For example, in this case, 16x squared plus 8x plus 1. So in this case, how can we factorize? The basic factorization is the same. So in this, the middle term is plus 8x, sum is 8, product. In this case, what we have to do, we have to take the product of these two, a coefficient of 16x squared and a constant term 1. So 16 into 1. 16 ones are 16. Since the sign of the product is positive, we can conclude that the two numbers will have same sign. So what sign we should have? We can see from the sum or sign of the sum. Sign is plus. So both the numbers should have positive sign. Okay. Now let's take the factors of 16. 1 multiplied by 16 ones are 16. Then it is also, next will be 2. 2 8s are 16. Then next will be 3 is not divisible. Next will be 4. 4 4s are 16. Now let's look at 1 plus 16 is 17. So these two are not the required number. 2 plus 8 is 10. Again, these two are not the possible. So the remaining will be 4 and 4. 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. So 8 can be written as 4 plus 4, which means 8x can be written as 4x plus 4x. So this is equal to 16x squared plus 4x plus 4x plus 1. So the common factor in this case is both are divisible by 4 and both have common factor x. So 4x is the common factor. 16x squared divided by 4x will be equal to 4x plus 4x divided by 4x is plus 1 plus 4x plus 1. Since they do not have any particular factor, the common factor will be 1, because 1 is the common factor of every number. So plus 1. And what will be left? When you divide by 1, you will get the same number, the dividend, 4x plus 1. Now here, terms inside the bracket are same. So we take the common 4x plus 1. What will be left? 4x plus 1. So these two are the factors of 16x squared plus 8x plus 1. So while splitting the middle term, we should be very careful regarding the sign of the two numbers. So for that, we have to look at the sign of the product of the two numbers and the sign of sum of these two numbers. Now, if the product of the two numbers is positive, then either both the numbers will be positive. So I have written plus plus, which means both the numbers will have positive sign. Or if the product is positive, the two numbers may be, both of them may be negative. So I shall write minus minus. How? Plus into plus. The sign will be plus. Minus into minus. You will again get sign positive for the product. So in this case, if both the numbers are positive, the sum will be positive. If both the numbers are negative, note, the sum will be negative. And then next one is the sign of the two numbers may be negative. So if the sign of the product of the two numbers is negative, then what we can conclude is one of the numbers will have positive, another will have negative. Plus into minus, you get minus, or minus into plus. Again, the product will be negative. So that means the two numbers will be, first number will be positive, second number will be negative, or first number is negative and second number is positive. When I say first number, I shall take first number is the larger number and second number as the smaller number. So when you add, if the larger number is positive, the sign of the sum will be positive. If the larger number is negative, then the sum or sign of the sum of the two numbers will be negative. Now this is very important, the sign convention. So to conclude, I have some works for you. So here I've given 7 questions for your assignment. Question number 1, 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. Question number 2, 3x squared minus 5x minus 2. Question number 3, y squared minus 4y minus 21. Question number 4, t squared minus 90 plus 20. Question number 5, z squared plus 3z minus 40. Question number 6, minus 15y squared minus 2y minus 1. Question number 7, 16x squared plus 8x plus 1. So if we use the sign convention, we can easily factorize all these questions. Now, these play a very important role. If you have a good practice and if you master this, splitting the middle term, then in your next class, that is class 10, this concept will come again and again. I think particularly in 2 chapters, polynomial as well in its quadratic equation, and then there are some other chapters in which you also require the concept of splitting the middle term. So this plays a very major role to build a strong your mathematical concept in the next class. And that is why I've specifically right? Done a lot of practice on this, but in your textbook you'll find little examples. Thank you so much.